Well, I went ahead and took a measurement, and it's 41.5 inches from this duck right here all the way back over to that 250 millimeter lens camera. One of the nice things about seeing that, you'll notice it's not nearly as super focused in. I took a quick photo with it, so I'll load it up in here somewhere, probably between these cut-ins and that, and show you the differences of them. But it's 41 inches from the duck to the lens, and that's, I actually measured from inside here of my cover. So it's definitely, that gives you an idea of focus point. Once you find that focal point, you can then keep cheating your way in and out. So what I'm about to do here next, I'm going to pull the camera off the tripod. I'm going to go ahead and use the duck again. I'm going to move the tripod completely out of the way. And like I said, it's 41.5 inches from the focal point to the lens. So right there is a huge distance that most people would never be able to find if they're not paying attention, they don't know what they're doing. So that's the good focal point to start. But I always start with my lens at the lowest setting, which I'm going to go ahead and turn it back here to the 55 millimeter. And again, I don't think we have enough light to actually do much with that, but I'm going to go ahead and try it anyway and see what happens. And I'm going to, again, like I said, I'm going to try and hold the camera where I'm going to hold it. It's going to be awfully shaky, because I'm going to try and hold this camera with my left hand, my video camera, my right hand. I'm going to see if I can't focus on this back screen to show you what I have. And as you notice, I'm virtually finding focal point right here. I'm getting really close. And if you notice, this is virtually touching this duck here. I mean, I'm hovering the duck inside of that tulip. So that right there gives you an idea of how close you've got to get. So if you notice, I come in here, this thing it goes almost black on me. So now I'm going to have to readjust this focal length. Let's see here if I can do this. This is really a pain in the butt. I need a second person here. How I got that to come into focus is I'm actually going out right here. So I'm now about 70 millimeters. And the reason I'm doing that is because I didn't feel like taking the tulip off, and I have bad lighting in here. So if I had a ring light or even say a backlit item, this would work a whole lot better for you. But at 70 millimeter, you're literally inside the tulip at the moment to find your focal length. Once you find a focal length, that's your 95% where you want to be. So once you find that, you just keep pulling your camera back a little bit. See how it goes out of focus? Just roll your hand until you get back in focus. And what I'm doing is the focal ring is still on manual. It's not changing. I'm doing it all by just moving it now. See, I'm up about probably 77, maybe 80 millimeter. So we're going to find that focal point there again. And as I roll back, I'm going to come out of focus, turn it just a little bit, and I'm going to find my focal point. There I go. And right there, I'm probably about 95 millimeter. So we're going to find that spot. And once you have that, you can keep rolling your way back. Find a focal point, roll your way back, and then find your focal point. And the more confident you get in this, the farther back you can go. If you're really not comfortable at all, you'd want to find your focal length. And as you go, gently roll out your distance as you pull back. That way you never fully lose your actual focus. But that gives you an idea of what we're looking at. At fully in at 55 millimeter, you're going to virtually be touching your item, and that's where you want to start. Once you find that focal length, that's going to be your final focus with your actual focal ring, and then just chase that back. Every time you come back a little bit and you get too far back, either one, try and twist your lens really far, and if it's out of focus, meant you went too far. So screw the camera back in a little bit and then find your focal point. Once you're there, this thing right here at 100 millimeters is virtually on focal point, and it looks like I'm about 8.5, 9 inches. I'll take a measurement there, and I'll take one at 200 also, and give you guys an idea. But even if you start all the way out here at the 41 inch, which would be way back here, you can then, as you roll your way in, just keep, you know, screwing your focal point in. So anyway, that right there is my best attempt at showing you guys how far out you want to go for your focal point. If you're out at 250 millimeter, I think it's 250, yeah, 250 millimeter, you're at 41.5 inches from the focal item. And if you're at 55 millimeter, you're virtually touching it. Anytime you find a focal point, whatever that distance is, write it down, make a note of it, because once you have it, it's really easy to work your way in and out. And like you saw I did with my tripod, I was way off because that tripod was way tilted up in that. Make a physical note of about where you were, and like I said, you'll have your focus distance. Then you can move your tripod back. I had to move my tripod back over 3 feet. I mean, it literally moved it back reset it back up, and then let the legs down, got it somewhat leveled up again. And that's the only way to do it, is you have to find your first focal point, and once you find that focal point, everything from there is going to be just cake. Again, you'll want to use your remote shutter. If not, you'll want to at least set up your camera. If you don't have a remote shutter and you don't want to buy one, set up your self timer, like as if you're going to take your own picture, run around and get in it. That way you click the button, you step back, your hands aren't touching it. 3 to 5 seconds later, your tripod is settled down, no movement, it'll automatically move the shutter, and you're good to go. So that's all I've got for now. If you guys have any more questions about this, feel free to leave me a comment below, and I will be happy to try and go from there. So I have like a 50mm lens also, which would be virtually about the same as a 55. Wouldn't be much different. So if there's another lens out there you guys want me to try and find a focal length on, and this didn't help you, if you, like I said, just find something, virtually touch the glass to the item and start pulling yourself back as slow as you can. Once it comes in focus, you can start adjusting your telephoto lens. So anyway, again, thanks for watching. Have yourself a safe and wonderful day. Get out there and shoot something.